Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for a glute, hamstring, and posterior chain day. And today, because my grip really felt good doing that triple with 545 last week, I'm like, let me grab 585, see if I can pull it and rep it. Unfortunately, my grip was kind of a problem. Like I came over to pull it, I got right at the lockout and I needed to set it back down because my grip was starting to get slippery. So again, I think this kind of tells me where I need to be with this. Yes, even though I'm training for bodybuilding and aesthetics, my deadlift really matters to me. And I've said previously my grip is an issue. I'm having to build it back up. So grip and forearm work, but that'll help my overall aesthetics. But right there, notice I needed to set it down. I didn't slip out of my grip, but I knew that trying to pull that full lockout was going to be an issue. So I think what I want to do, because that was actually really easy, everything else that went up light, I felt like I could have done 2 or 3 reps with that. It felt light enough that if I had thrown on straps, I would have pulled that for a triple. I don't want to do that. So we're going to keep doing the posterior chain work that we're doing because it's clearly got my deadlift back up to speed. Like I could probably pull over 600 with straps right now. But I'm going to hammer down on the grip work even further, grip and forearm, grip and forearm. But since my arms need the most work out of my physique, you guys see where I'm going with that? The grip counts as part of my arm work. Glute bridges, these actually felt pretty good. I took 20 pounds off. They still, the lockouts are a little soft on them, but I'll take them. And also I think we can see the cuts going pretty well. Loose skin is starting to tighten up more and more around the waistline as we're getting leaner. It's not perfect, but it's getting pretty good. It's getting good enough that those unflattering positions, I look pretty good by normal standards. Okay, so I did 6s. I just did 2 sets of this because I'm like, look, I'm going to do some axle bar deadlifts and stuff. And I'm going to push my reverse hyper harder. So 2 sets of this is fine. But I do want to continue to work these. So I have goals with this is to get those lockouts a little stronger. I'd like to be able to do 10s with this weight. But again, felt good, and I feel like the deadlift carryover is there between that, which gave me, I think, some muscle memory last week, and then doing the reverse hypers. I feel like the deadlift strength is way up because that 585 did not feel like a max in terms of my actual primary movers. So these are actually stronger. I noticed that I wasn't able to do this many reps last time I did these. So we know the grip is coming along, and my grip didn't burn from these the same as before. So this is 320. I think it's 320. It's hard to remember what that axle bar weighs. So that's 320. I did 3 sets of 6 with it on the axle, which again, for anyone who's pulled on an axle bar, I mean, that's right at about the grip strength you just saw me do, right? Meaning 585 with a power bar was slippery. Oh, and by the way, I should clarify that it was a power bar. I'm pulling with a power bar only. I'm not going to do the cheater deadlift bar. That wouldn't have been an issue with a deadlift bar. That would have been I laughed and held it 3 seconds at the top. Just an FYI. Throw a deadlift bar on with straps, I probably could have pulled it 5 times. But there you go. You can kind of see my grip. Like, all right, you can tell that now it's fighting. Now we're getting that forearm work in. But so then that's what I wanted to do. So what I want to do for the forearms and the grip, in addition to all this posterior chain work, I want to do something like this that actually trains the grip isometrically. I'm going to do forearm flexors and forearm extensors dynamically. Okay, so these things all need to be done. 3 sets of each of those movement patterns. Continue to do the chins and stuff, but because my back day is actually a little more grip intensive with what I'm doing now, because with the bicep dominant stuff, it actually lets me go heavier, works the grip harder. I feel like my grip is going to be caught up real fast. And so I think what I want to do, because 585 doesn't feel super heavy to me at the moment on the deadlift, again, in terms of glutes, hamstrings, back, I think I want to work with that. So I'm going to use that as just kind of my baseline number to work with, and we can count reps off of it. Right, we can count reps off of it because I think it's a good number for me to work with. It's a good number for me to work with, and just do it as rep stuff. And again, I like the idea of even plates as targets. And I want to see if I can get that grip strong enough where I can pull it for 2 or 3 reps. And I think if I can do that, I'm in a really good place for a guy my age, right? I joke with that. We already know my deadlifts have been considered elite for the open previously. But did the reverse hypers, took those reps up to about 15 out of where they burn more with that heavier weight. I'm going to try to just build it up, because unless I want to put calibrated plates on there, because I want to use it in my red so I don't have to load them and unload them anywhere, that's about as much weight as I can put on there. So I'm just going to build work capacity with this. Again, works great for me, works my glutes, works my lower back, my hamstrings. So yeah, these movements tend to have really, really good carryover to my deadlift. So really, as long as I just keep training these two movements and I get that grip sorted, my deadlift will be fine. Keeping in mind deadlift works all these other muscles, and all my back work and stuff carries over. So it's not just that. Keep in mind, I rep out 55-pound weighted shins and things. So yeah, there's obviously middle and upper back work involved. These got hard near the end. So as I did these, because I did that other grip work, I did the axle bar, these started getting hard. Like the third set, or the second and third set, I almost couldn't get those 10 reps. Like they were almost turning into partials. Right, they're almost turning into partials. But guys, I'm looking thick, looking super thick. Now that my deficit is really small, I've got the carbs back up. I kind of held over at 212. That's where I've been sitting all week, pretty much on the dot every morning. But again, I know that I'm leaning out from all the fasted training, fasted cardio. Did more fasted cardio this weekend than normal, so I was almost thinking the scale might go down, but it didn't. But I feel like I'm just recompositioning at this point. Like I feel like I'm sitting at this body weight, and I should, in theory, be in a small deficit compared to previously, but it's probably such a small deficit that we're just going to see recomp because of all the high protein, everything else going on there. You know, everything else going on there. All right, and then so you guys will kind of see the forearms at the end of this. I come over to do a little forearm shot before I go and do the extensor. So this is again my standing barbell wrist curls, and that's as much weight as I can handle. I kind of got up to that after a couple weeks of doing them, and I don't feel like I can increase because those 10s are difficult, right? But the forearms are getting pretty decent, honestly, and I think as long as I keep bringing up the biceps and triceps, shrink that waistline down as I get leaner. Again, you guys can see the angles there. I mean, you can see where the loose skin and stuff is with all this stuff now. I mean, I feel like I'm in a good spot, right? Notice the arms are growing. So that's the other thing too, all that bicep work and the tricep work is starting to pay off. You can see the triceps need more there. So I've got to keep bringing the triceps up. That's why they get trained twice a week instead of once like every other muscle. But overall, aesthetics are improving, right? We're continuing to improve at a pretty good pace. So, I mean, I'm not perfect where I want to be now, but if we can see with some of these shots standing up, getting back up, seeing these angles, I'm in a good place. And as long as we just keep making steady progress from here, everything's going to blow up. Actually, my Facebook's blowing up again. Big time. I think YouTube and stuff will come up. My outreach will come up. Everything's good. Just going to keep working at it, keep improving. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.